Woo! Yeah, you already know. Aswand Cruickshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker, checking in for a daily Move Swiftly thought, giving you a perspective on teamwork that you will not get anywhere else. All right, let's dive into this Jalen Carter situation. This really unfortunate situation by the projected. I mean, he was projected before all this came out. Jalen Carter was projected to be the number 1 pick in the 2023 NFL draft. He's clearly the best player of the draft, in the draft, and just a couple days ago it came out that he has been charged with a misdemeanor, and he was involved in some way, shape, form, or fashion with the tragic incident that happened, I believe it was 2 days after the University of Georgia won the national championship. There was apparently a street race in which 2 people from the Georgia football family lost their lives. One was a player, one was I believe a recruiting coordinator or something like that. And it's recently come out that he had some involvement, a little more involvement than what he had initially said about it and all that kind of stuff. And this kind of shit really hits home for me. It really triggers me in so many different ways, because it's what I talk about all the time. It's what I try to preach to young cats all the time, the young players coming up, how as great of a player as you may be or you may think you are, it takes literally one wrong decision, and that's it. Your whole world can change in a snap of a finger. Understand who you are as a football player, and whether you like it or not, people look up to you. Whether you like it or not, people look at you as a role model and things of that nature, even though you may not be ready to step into that leadership role. When you play this game, you are a role model, and one wrong decision can completely change your life. I can be out here for hours upon hours talking about example after example after example. Actually, just yesterday, I was catching up with a former teammate of mine, Anthony Bethel, who played out here in Palm Beach, knows the area very well, and we were talking about the same thing, right? So if you're a player listening to me, if you're a current player listening to me, please, I get it. You want to have fun. Listen, I've had my share of drunk nights. I've done my share of drunk driving. And one of the conclusions that I came to when you're in your drunken state of mind and, you're starting to sober up and you realize it's just not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth giving up on your life for and shit like that, right? So, really be careful when it comes to that, all right? So one of the things that I want to talk to you guys today about, today's actual Move Swiftly thought, is courtesy has come directly from what I saw Coach Bob Malloy do, all right? So Coach Bob Malloy, for those of you who don't know, he retired. He was my high school football coach, and he retired with the most wins of any high school football coach in the state of Maryland, right? And it was the first championship I played 3 seasons. I played 3 seasons under him, my sophomore year, my junior year, my senior year, and it was my sophomore year in which we went to, actually all 3 years we went to the championship, but my sophomore year is when it was my first experience with him taking his team to the championship and all that. We ended up losing to DeMatha. All 3 years we ended up losing to DeMatha, but we won't talk about that. But, excuse me. So here's what Coach Malloy did, all right? Because my sophomore year, we actually beat them in the regular season. So we were actually the favorites and we were expected to win that game in the championship, and we didn't. So we didn't get it done. But anyway, one of the things that Coach Malloy did, and he was talking to us about it throughout the week of practice, is he was saying, look, at the end of the game, I want all of you guys, I want your parents, I want everyone to come over to my house, and we're going to have ourselves a celebration. Whether we win or lose, we're going to celebrate the season. We're going to get together. We're going to make sure that after the game, we don't have any incidents, we don't have anything going on that would get you guys in trouble, whether we win, whether we lose. We don't want any of the drinking. We don't want any of that kind of stuff. We don't want any of that kind of stuff going on after this game, because it was a huge game, right? So we ended up losing the game. In a heartbreaking way. I mean, to the point where I can still visibly see a lot of my teammates head face down on the ground, on the floor, crying. It's like I'm back at Navy Stadium right now. I'm taking you guys back to Navy Marine Corps Stadium. And the first thing he said to us after we lost, he goes, look, guys, I get that this was an unfortunate loss and all that, and I feel bad and all that, but nothing's going to make it worse than you guys going out, getting drunk, and driving your car off a cliff or getting into an accident and making this a worse night than it already is. Please, he pleaded with us. He goes, please come over my house. We're gonna, we have food and, we're gonna get together and we're just gonna, let it all go. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe everyone did show up. Obviously, it happened so long ago, I can't remember if everyone did, but there were no incidents like the one at the University of Georgia. And I say all that because I know in my audience there's a lot of high school coaches, whether it's high school coaches, youth coaches, high school parents of young football players, and I want you guys to share, to take that lesson. It's really not my lesson. It's really me telling you something that I saw from my coach, and really impart that and really understand the importance of getting together as a team off the field, so we don't have these unfortunate situations that happen at the University of Georgia. All right, and really take that into consideration when you're going out and you're having these conversations, because there's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that go into this shit, man. That it is family. It's family, all right? For more on all of this, the website is makeyourmove.com. That's MAKEYAMOVE.com. It is a one-stop shop for your teamwork and self-development needs. Make sure you go check it out. That's where you can listen to the podcast. You can purchase the merch. You see that? You like that, right? Yeah. I was getting a lot of compliments on my shirt and all that. So make sure I'll have a lot more of these coming too. So if you want to get you one of these, make sure you hit the DMs or hit the messages, and we'll chop it up for sure. Aswand Cruickshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker, checking out. You guys continue to move swiftly. We will talk more soon.